Hey, what's going on, IK fam? BN, we're back again today for another Risk It to Get That Biscuit, though, video. Now, today, I am really happy to talk about something that I get a lot of questions on, which is, boss, if I'm going to make a jumping account, then can I start this account within a week of when the group that I want to go with or I'd like to go with is going to start? Can I just make a new account day one in the server they land in? Can I make an account a week, 2, 3, 4 weeks after that group has already landed and started developing the server out? The short answer for all the above is yes. You do not need to have the perfect jumper account for joining. You only need a core amount of players within the group to be at or above the recommended troop power. Now, we recommend 19 to 20k troop power, and that's because after researching multiple servers on day 3, which is the average plus or minus day on when Chronicle 3 will open up, because it has to complete before you can then jump your jumper account to that server, and then you have a window from Chronicle 3 to Chronicle 6. Now, when you look at the top 100 overall troop power on average for around day 3, around the middle of the pack is where that 19 to 20k troop power is. That's how we basically found that number. Now, as I said, only a core amount of players need to be at or above that recommended power. Once you have that, right, that could be 20 people, 40, 50, 60 players, right? A lot of it depends on how strong they are as well, right? But usually if you're preparing your accounts for around 3 weeks, again, I say give or take, right? That usually is around enough time, right? That kind of 3 to 4 week mark. Then, let's say you set a deadline. Any new players that join your group, even if like I said, they're within a week, it's day 1, it's weeks after, that is fine, right? As a player looking for jump groups to join, you do not have to have your account in the ideal state if, and this is where the big asterisk is, if that group already has the necessary core amount of players that are at or above that recommended troop power, right? The benefit of you as a player joining that project is that you are going to be able to get into a server that is going to hopefully define itself with that group hopefully managing, kind of leading that way as the majority presence, to help get it to the ideal state that they are selling you on, right? That they are saying, hey, look, these are our goals, these are our policies, this is the kind of server that we want to help build, and you like what that group stands for. I would still strongly recommend joining that group regardless of whatever state your jumper account is in, or even if you make an account day 1 or any time after once that group lands in the final server, because you are going to be able to not only enjoy the type of server you really want to play in, but you'll still be able to develop your account arguably just as fast, if not faster, than if you waited to develop your account and then potentially lowered your chances of joining a group in a less than ideal state than what you would have personally liked to join. Again, I've been in this situation in a previous project I ran where we had players that joined weeks after we landed, and they were still able to develop their accounts, primarily because we didn't have unnecessary lawless PvP that was just Hunger Games Battle Royale, come and get it wide. And that helped a lot, in addition to other factors. So that's why I say, because again, people will DM me and say, I'm not sure, while I'm recruiting, right, sometimes I'll get some people say, I'm not sure about joining, I really want to prep my account for, 2.5 years, and I'm just like, oh, Lord. So, but I still take time to explain to the players that, look, you don't necessarily need to have the perfect jumper account at all, right? You're going to have a lot more. You will have a better overall gaming experience playing in the type of server that you want to play in, regardless of where your account is, right? The whole reason for doing jumping is just so you have a little bit more of a deterrent, and you have a little bit more of an action force, if you will, at times when you finally go and land in your final server, and then you have a large enough of a group to where you can have, hopefully, a majority presence to help manage and direct where the course of that server is going to go, right, to then hopefully implement your group's policies and goals, right, being the majority. It helps with that. And those are really the big takeaways. So again, a little bit shorter of a video today, but again, this is a big question I get from a lot of players, And I hope that this at least helps answer that, right? So, in summary, right, it does not matter when you join. You can join a group anytime you want, right? You have to really be looking for what matters most, which is the kind of group you want to join, right? What their goals and their policies are going to be for the server, regardless of if you have a less than recommended ideal state for your jumper, or even if you just make a new account day one or any time after, right? It's really about looking at big picture and joining a group that's going to have a high chance of success, right? Because as I always talk about, there's no guarantees when you jump, especially for how long I've been doing jump projects for, right? The only things that we can do as leaders in a jump project or as project managers is to try and give our group and our players the best chances for success. And I do think there's a lot of good fundamentals that we can apply to that to increase those chances and those odds. And so, like I said, for the players, which is really what this video is more for, I hope this at least provides some insight and helps you out with now maybe you'll consider joining a jumper group compared to, right, maybe previously thinking that you just needed to wait months or however long to get your account to the ideal state, right? It's not as necessary as I think some people may believe that it is, and I hope at least this video clarified and provided a little context on how you can still get the most out of what you'd like to as a player. All right, guys, and gals, as always, we're gender neutral. And so that is it from me. Until next time, we will catch y'all later.